All right, let's talk about leadership. But forget the old playbook. We're tearing it up. In this explainer, we're diving into a completely new guide for leaders, one that's built on empathy, purpose, and a set of skills that go way beyond spreadsheets and technical know-how. Let's get right into it.
So I want to kick things off with a big question for every single leader out there. Is just being smart, your IQ, is that really enough to lead in the world we live in today? Well, the short answer is a hard no. The game has totally changed, and the skills you need to actually win have evolved right along with it.
And this right here really shows you the key difference. You've got IQ, that's your raw intelligence, your logic, and honestly, it's pretty much fixed from when you're young. But then you have SEI, or social emotional intelligence. This is your self-awareness, your empathy, and here's the amazing part. You can develop it your entire life. Just think of it like this. Your IQ might get you in the room, but it's your SEI that helps you lead it.
This big shift in what skills matter, well, it's really just a reflection of how the entire business landscape itself is transforming. The old, narrow way of thinking about success is giving way to something much, much bigger and a whole lot more meaningful, as we're about to see.
Okay, let's break this down. The traditional model, the old way, was laser-focused on one thing: short-term financial returns, often at the expense of, well, everything else. But the responsible model completely flips the script. It redefines success. It's all about long-term accountability to everyone involved.
And that means being accountable to every single person and thing your business touches. We're talking about your employees, your customers, the community you operate in, and yes, the environment. In this responsible model, sustainability isn't some fluffy PR move. No way. It's a core piece of the business strategy that builds deep, lasting customer loyalty and a serious long-term competitive advantage. So how do you become this new type of leader? Well, here's the secret. It doesn't start with managing other people. It starts with managing yourself. This is the inner journey.
At the very heart of this inner journey is social emotional intelligence, or SEI. Really, it's about being able to recognize and understand your own emotions, get them under control, and then use all of that awareness to guide how you interact with other people.
So how do you actually build this skill? You start by mapping your own emotional radar. First, you've got to identify your triggers. What sets you off? Is it getting critical feedback? Missing a deadline? Know what it is. Second, get really specific when you name your emotions. Saying you're frustrated is so much more useful than just saying you're angry. And finally, learn to recognize the physical cues. Your heart starts racing, your jaw gets tight. Those are the signals that an emotional response is coming, and that gives you the chance to manage it before you just act on impulse.
Okay, this is a moment for a little self-reflection. Just take a second and think, what situations consistently trigger a really strong emotional response in you? Figuring out the why behind that's the absolute first step toward mastering yourself.
Now, once you start to get a handle on your own inner world, that's when you can start applying those skills to the outer world. Let's dive into how this foundation helps you build teams that are not only high-performing, but also high-trust.
The foundation of any great team is something called psychological safety. Now, this isn't about being nice all the time. It's about creating an environment where people feel safe enough to take risks, to innovate, and even to fail and admit their mistakes without being afraid of punishment. It's where empathy becomes a powerful tool to solve conflicts and find those win-win solutions.
This is all held up by some essential communication habits. Active listening. That means you're listening to understand, not just waiting for your turn to talk. It also means reading the nonverbal cues, posture and tone, which often tell you more than the words themselves. And for giving feedback, a simple model like SBI is a game changer. You just describe the situation, the specific behavior, and then its impact. It keeps feedback clear, actionable, and it's how you build real professional trust.
This whole approach to communication leads to a really powerful concept called radical candor. It's the art of giving feedback that is both totally direct and clear, but also comes from a place where you genuinely care. It's about challenging people directly because you want to see them grow, not because you want to criticize them. When you nail this, it builds trust and speeds up performance like crazy.
So once you have that strong inner foundation and a high-trust team, a leader is finally ready for the ultimate challenge, making decisions that go way beyond just simple profit and loss.
You see, truly responsible leaders, they don't just rely on their gut feeling or a spreadsheet. They intentionally work on and cultivate 3 core traits that allow them to see the world differently and to make better, more holistic decisions that can actually stand the test of time.
The first trait is systemic thinking. This is the ability to kind of zoom out and see the whole system, not just the little individual pieces. It's really understanding that your business doesn't exist in a bubble. It's connected to broader social and ecological systems. Every single decision you make has a ripple effect, and a systemic thinker is always anticipating those ripples.
The second trait is empathy. And let's be really clear here. This is not a soft skill. It is a critical business tool for genuinely understanding the well-being of your team and the real needs of your customers. For diverse, global teams, empathy is the bridge that lets a leader connect across cultures and make decisions that resonate with everybody. And a third trait is ethical intelligence. This is your moral compass. It's the ability to navigate all those gray areas and complex problems with integrity and transparency. In an age where everyone's always watching, ethical intelligence isn't just about avoiding a scandal. It's the ultimate foundation for building long-term trust with every single one of your stakeholders.
So, what does this actually look like in the real world? This table shows some pretty common dilemmas. For example, that classic conflict between growing super fast versus ensuring product quality. A responsible leader, they prioritize user safety and trust over some flashy vanity metrics. Or how about transparency when you find a flaw? The responsible choice is always full disclosure with a plan to fix it, not hiding it. These are the kinds of choices that build resilient, trusted companies.
This all leads to a brand new scorecard for success, the triple bottom line. As you can see from the chart, a responsible company measures its performance not just on profit, but on 3 equal pillars: people, planet, and profit. A company like Patagonia totally embodies this, right? They've built a fiercely loyal customer base, not just on their product quality, but on their deep commitment to their employees and to environmental causes. This gives you a holistic measure of true, sustainable value.
Okay, so we've covered a whole lot, but the main takeaway here is that this isn't some course you just finish and check off a box. This is a lifelong journey. It's a continuous practice of growth.
And this is probably the most powerful idea we've talked about. Unlike your IQ, which is pretty much set, your social-emotional intelligence is a muscle. You can train it, you can develop it, and you can strengthen it throughout your entire career.
And to make this really practical, here's a daily practice checklist. At the end of each day, just ask yourself these questions. Did I really listen to understand today? Did I check my emotional state before I acted? Did I think about the impact of my decisions on everyone involved? This super simple practice can compound your growth as a responsible leader over time.
So, we'll end right where we started, with a question. Because when it's all said and done, it's not going to be about the quarterly earnings reports. It's going to be about the impact you had on people and on the planet. So, what legacy will your leadership create?